evening.
All right, having said that, we'll to see football action resume at the local scene on Wednesday. The MPFL, to be precise, will resume on Wednesday. Fixtures are coming your way. You get them on your screen right now. Kano Pillars will start playing Giwa FC. They're very comfortable playing Giwa FC. Remember, Giwa FC are in top 4. They need to actually win the game if they want to stay in contention for the top spot. Other games, we have Sharks taking on Bayelsa United. Namely, we play host to Enugu Rangers. El Kanemi versus Warri Wolves. Kaduna United will take on Abia Warriors. Nasarawa will take on Taraba FC. Gombe will take on Aqua United. Crown FC will take on Lobby Stars. Dolphin will play host to Atlant. Eyimba will take on Sunshine Stars. Now, quickly, if you get a look at the log table, Kano Pillars are still on top, although they lead Abia Warriors by a point. Abia Warriors are in second. You will get to see the log table any minute from now. Kano Pillars haven't played 20 games, have 34 points. That's what we have. Top 5 and bottom 5. Nasarawa United are in third. Giwa in fourth. Warri Wolves occupy fifth. Bottom 5, we have El Kanemi, Crown, Kaduna, Gombe, and it seems Nembe are all but relegated. I beg your pardon, although they have 16 points, but they look like they're going to struggle till the end of the season. I'm going to ask you to give your take, Larry, as regards the table and the fixtures we expect to see, and Nodi to also come do an overview.
For me, Kano Pillars, they have been remarkable. Remember, they went on that 10-game, 11-game unbeaten run before they made their Waterloo, against Dolphins. Dolphins confirmed that they actually have class, and if there was any team that could actually defeat Kano Pillars or stop their unbeaten run, it has to be Dolphins. They're in the Federations Cup final deservedly. They haven't lost any game in the cup. I mean, they have not even played a draw. They've not even had to rely on the lottery of penalties to be in that final, unlike anybody that played penalties with Tornadoes. But having said that, Kano Pillars have lost their unbeaten run, but they're still top of the log. Today, they're home to Giwa, I think, and then you expect that they will get 3 points from that. Nembe, as you said, 16 points. I don't see how they will survive relegation, because the team that is just immediately above the relegation waters is about 24 points. I don't see how.
That means 4 points difference.
4 points difference between them and team that is in 17, but team that from 16 upwards, they a lot more points to cover. So Nembe or a tough one for Nembe as it is. By and large, fantastic season it has been. A few skirmishes on the pitch, but as it were, fantastic football through and through.
Okay, now second stanza, we saw the guys that eventually won, and the guys that came second or the third that played at the competitions, we saw the shape. But now it looks too good for the likes of Nasarawa, for the likes of Giwa FC,
Abia.
for the likes of Abia Warriors. Yes, Abia Warriors had a decent run when they did come in, but do you think the league will end this way? Warri Wolves too. I mean, last year they kind of struggled a little bit, but they look like they're making a massive statement. Top 5, Kano Pillars, Abia Warriors, Nasarawa, Giwa, and Warri Wolves. Do you think it will still like this till the end of the season, Nodi?
I don't think so. The only team that will remain among the top 4 is Kano Pillars in this mix. For Warri Wolves, where if they maintain at least just a little consistency, I'm not asking for too much. I know Warri Wolves, that position, you find that they will start struggling around the 11th and 10th position. Last season, they had a loaded squad, but when did they, what was their position? Yeah. So they've had the best position they've ever had was when they came from National League straight to the Premier League. Yeah. They came to fourth team here. So that was, I think, their best ever performance in the league at that point. So only Kano Pillars at this point, we are sure of remaining among the top 4. The other teams, because by the time we get deeper into the season, we need to see the shape of our teams that has the pedigree, the character, the staying power. We need to see them begin to unveil themselves.
Like what normally happens to Arsenal FC at some point.
I'm not going to mention
I'm just saying.
So, but that's how the mix up. Eyimba is out of it. But by the time you see Eyimba, because Eyimba knows what is at stake. Yeah. Because between for Kano Pillars, their biggest challenge is Eyimba. When they have teams like Abia Warriors, Nasarawa United, Giwa, maybe Warriors, they'll say yes, we look home and dry, but they want to maintain.
But you won't wonder what is going to happen to Enugu Rangers. But before we even come to that, they're still struggling with the John Obu factor. Fine, fantastic. Sharks FC at some point in time, they finished on top of it. They enjoyed top spots at some point in time. But towards the end of the first stanza, they kept on dropping points. Even when we resumed the second stanza, they dropped further points. You would wonder. I mean, this was a side that we all thought were in good contention for the top spot to win the league. But it looks like they're going to continue to struggle. Maybe. Or maybe eventually they will bounce back. But I think I will very page from Nodi. At some point in time, maybe the likes of Abia Warriors, Nasarawa, Giwa, and Warri Wolves will probably drop. But what teams will occupy this top 3? Apart from Eyimba and Kano Pillars. I mean, we have third and fourth. to be filled as well.
I can actually see beyond those two, particularly for the first and second spots. I mean, the pedigree has shown over the years, particularly last season and 2 seasons ago, where they always go, down to the wire, down to the last day of the season. I can't see past those two. And in Nigerian Professional Football League, you need a particularly large squad, and that is what other teams can actually afford.
Atlant, the Atlants, the Rangers.
Dunlody mentioned here two Sundays ago when he talked about Crown FC being owed 6 months salary. How do you expect such players to perform very well for you consistently? These are sort of things that you don't hear in the camps of Pillars and Enyimba, and that is why we always vouch for professional
work. They spent some good money too. I mean, remember they paid them a lot of money. They brought in Austin Ogwabon as coach, and they recruited too as well.
And a few other players.
Yeah.
For Gombe United, it's not all about spending the money. When you have a team where you don't have players stay at a club for 2-3 seasons, I think the oldest is Alhaji Kwanga in that team. Marcel Obiora moved after 6 or 8 seasons with the club. He moved to Heartland. These are. Now look at the team that are consistent. Look at Enyimba.
Yeah.
Look at Pillars. They know how to keep their best players.
Yeah.
Rabi Ali, Gambo Mohamed, those guys who they can orchestrate
every kind of big thing for trials.
That's why they know how to keep. When I talk of trials, this came back to Pillars, not to Enyimba, not to Rangers, not to Crown, not to Giwa. They came back to Pillars.
Unlike what happened to Sunshine with Dele Lorundare.
So these are teams that everybody knows how to keep their best player. When I mean the bulk of the team, they know how to keep the nucleus is still intact. So let me tell you something. Enyimba and Kano Pillars will dominate Nigerian football for a long time. Why? Enyimba, Kano Pillars is on top of the league. They've won the title back to back. They're on top of the league. Enyimba has been in the Federation Cup final how many times in 10 years? They're in the final again.
Dolphin
the defending champion. Yeah. No, we'll go to that. But Enyimba and Kano Pillars, mark my word, will dominate the Nigerian football scene for a long time.
Okay, all right. El Kabomi, Crown FC, Kabna, Gombe, Nembe, candidates for relegation for you.
They make up the numbers.
You're looking for
Kaduna and Gombe. So be careful what you say.
I understand. Gombe, particularly 2 seasons ago when they had Mustafa Abu Jadadi and Sani, I forgot the other guy's name, Sanusi Sani, blazing on all cylinders. Those guys went on trials, injury, came back to.
They didn't come back to Gombe.
That's what I'm saying. They went on trials and then Gombe came back to square one where they've been before. And now they seem to be struggling. That's the same thing Nodi talked about. And that's the same thing I also mentioned. Those 2 teams particularly, you can't take it away from them. Yeah. They seem to have a structure that works and they understand that brilliantly.
Right. Having said that, I will talk about the Federations Cup. The Federations Cup final will take place on the 16th of August. It was scheduled to take place today, but there was a change. There was a mix-up. Should I use the word mix-up? But there was a shift.
They called it tentatively.
I think it's been confirmed. Lagos State will host.
I want to beg right now on national TV that they should postpone the Federations Cup final.
Do you have any specific reasons?
I have specific reasons. Number 1, it should be on a Sunday. Number 2, they should find a date in the calendar that will not clash with the start of football, particularly the EPL. What I'm trying to say is they must look for a date, maybe on an international friendly date, when all teams. The reason is this. Now, the reason is this. I cannot imagine that the EPL is starting, or there's a community shield between maybe Manchester and Arsenal, or Chelsea is playing Man U, and you expect fans to leave the comfort of their houses and go to the national stadium testing balloons. You may differ.
You don't differ. I try to agree with him in some aspect. Today was supposed to be the Federation Cup final. That's what they announced before they started the state final. They make all noise, threatening that we want to meet August 3rd date. Even from their personalities, I really look at this person and say, you know what you are saying? Suddenly they change the date.
Yeah.
And what are you expecting? What today was supposed to be the final. What was the semi-final?
Semi-final
was played on Thursday. But no reason for giving for that. Maybe because they are looking at. See, you cannot play that 16. That's when the Premier League is starting. It is better because a lot of the games on the Premier League, the first day, they'll play all their games on Saturday. They won't play any game on Sunday. Maybe some games will be played in midweek. Well, why not fix a date?
I'm aware that a lot of diehard fans in Lagos State will
I agree.
I will go at the stadium.
I will be there. We will all be there. But it's not just us. It's not us.
When they said August 3rd, I said that was the perfect date for it.
Yeah.
But 16, come on.
Okay. All right, let's come back to the field of play. I mean, these guys that they are being paid to do the job, will do their job. We are being paid to do something else. So let's do what we know how to do best. Let's talk about the game between Dolphin and Eyimba. I mean, like you said, Nodi said, these guys have the trophy between themselves for some good amount of time. Dolphin actually have won it more than
Dolphins
Eyimba.
4 times, Eyimba 3 times, I think.
And if Shooting win
times.
this, it would be the 4th, and if Dolphin win it, would be probably the 5th.
The 5th, yeah.
So, talking about the quality of play, you said that Eyimba is probably the top shot in Nigerian football as it stands. Dolphin too. They've been ding-dong in Nigerian football, but it's a final that a lot of us will expect some good fireworks. I will start with you, Nodi.
Well, in the last 14 years, these two teams have been the most successful team in the Federation Cup, in the FA Cups. In the last 14 years, you've mentioned it, Dolphin has won 4, Eyimba 3. They are talking of last 7 years. So it means they shared in 7 years, in 14 years, they shared 7 years victory. So now, looking at winning the leagues, Dolphin in between 14 years, they have won the league twice. So Eyimba has won the league how many times? So these are a lot of things contrive to give this team that status.
Okay.
A lot of things, a lot of factors, and this is it. Dolphins, the first their major shift, the break, was in 2001 when they won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They beat Economy in the final. Then they were in the National League, in the lower division. So that is it. So that is the consistency we're talking about.
Yeah.
Looking at Dolphins and the kind of player they recruited, they have a structure to that retain players for a longer time, but that has not really translated into appreciable result for Dolphins. For Eyimba, yes, it's working for them.
Yeah.
So this is a game that involves team that has a coach on the bench who are pretty experienced, who have stayed in a club for a long time, and coaches who have handled some of the biggest clubs in Nigeria. So it's going to be a cracker.
All right, for you, Larry.
Definitely, it will be fantastic, brilliant football that we're going to see in Lagos. Particularly, I didn't want Eyimba and Dolphins to play the final because I wanted 1 or 2 underdogs to be in the final. But for the beauty of the game, for Lagos fans, these are the biggest teams as in terms of Federation's Cup, and we can only expect fireworks in that final. Ifeanyi Egwim with Dolphins, Udok as well with Dolphins. We expect Ifeanyi Egwim actually scored a hat-trick against Lobi. Fantastic player. Ufam Udo as well for Eyimba. Brilliant players. And some of the guys we saw at Eyimba in Teslim Balogun last year are still very much there. The Adiegus and the Bright CMS and their goalkeeper, Femi Thomas, who is now reserve goalkeeper, and all of that. So we still expect fireworks in such a final. Yeah. Eyimba won the Federation's Cup in 2005. It was Dolphins that snatched it from Eyimba the following year, 2006. Yeah. And then Dolphins defended it in 2007. Eyimba won in 2013 now. Let's see if Eyimba can do what Dolphins did, and win back-to-back Federation's Cup final.
Dolphins will repeat history again and snatch it away from Eyimba.
Exactly.
And the women, we'll talk about the women first. Somebody said it's actually the national team, the national female team playing.
That's
what it is.
Especially for Rivers Angels.
Yeah.